whenever I go to a show, it is surprising. These kids tell me that. Now they're not kids anymore; they're adults, and they have important positions in important companies. And it surprises me that they would pick my stuff to emulate. And a lot of the advertising agencies, you start seeing the monstery uh, flavor of their art. And now with Photoshop and all these computerized aids, you can do miracles with happy thinking and far out thinking. And when as time went by, they kept telling me this. You know, my mom got mad at me for drawing the rat Fink, and my teacher kicked me out of class. And you hear this again and again in every city. You start saying, "Boy, I really had an impact." Well, all I was looking at it was a way to support my family, and I don't. I never did understand it. You know, I think a lot of people that are in the arts, they don't understand the popularity that they have, because I know friends that are in movies that don't want to watch their own movies because they think they're so terrible. But then when you come to the reality of it, you say, well, okay, I've had this impact now. Why? What am I supposed to do now? You know, and I've passed retirement age years ago, and I say, well, I'll keep going as long as the Father in heaven gives me the health and the revelation to continue going. I'll do that because that's my responsibility. Because then St. Peter, he can't come and say, well, okay, Big Daddy, we gave you the health and the strength and the revelation. Now what'd you do with it? Go to Miami and go to Disney World, you know? Because there's a responsibility attached to that. And so I'm trying to focus in on what Rat Fink can do to help reach kids and help them to start thinking straight. Because when you tell a kid don't smoke or drink, the kid's going to go out and smoke and drink. But I think by Rat Fink saying, smoke your tires and not cigarettes, it has a little impression on some kids. And a lot of these advertisements on TV are very important because it keeps kids, it starts them thinking, I really shouldn't do this, you know, because it is really nuts. And that guy over there that is smoking, he looks like a real geek, they call him now, a real geek. So that's how we can reach them, I think. And by reinforcing a family life, by making hot rodding a clean, a wholesome family a thing, I think we can get the guy out there in the world that likes hot rods to start thinking, well, I can have one too, because they're making them out of fiberglass now, and they got all these Corvette engines laying around the junkyards of the Ford engines, and you can buy fuel-injected computers for them. So that gets them thinking they can have them. Now, at the rod runs, you'll see more and more guys with those older 70 power muscle cars and the 34 Fords with the big Chevy engines and big Chrysler engines in them. And that's by keeping that spirit of hot rodding alive. I never thought it would last this long, you know, because, gee, it was only a thing to get a car running after the Second World War, because you couldn't buy a car. But it has survived, and it's on its way up, because they're building more old-time cars now than they ever have.